and visiting the family in Jerusalem, within a couple of months.
He came to our apartment in
he had this religious shawl on and a headpiece. It was quite something.
He came to the apartment with a plastic bag in one hand and a briefcase in the other. Right. And he said, would you like to do a trade for diamonds for the next paintings? And I said, well, I don't know anything about diamonds, I said I couldn't do that. Anyway, he opened this plastic bag. He said, he must have had about $50,000 worth of diamonds in this plastic bag. And he said, if they rob me, they take the briefcase. No one steals the plastic bag. Yeah. I said, well, don't tell too many people this secret.
Brilliant.
My God. Yeah. So I said, no, I don't really trade.
You traded?
But I said, I do like that, what's around your neck.
Oh.
And he had a little Netsuke carving with a diamond set in it. And he said, no, that's not. And I said, well, come on, think about it. I really like. We ended up doing a trade for the son's painting for that. And I loved it. I had it for years till I lost it.
And all these paintings were being done. You did a lot of paintings in Jerusalem in that time you were there?
In Jerusalem.
Yeah, and sent them all back.
Every day, yeah.
We did have a little bit more time where we were visiting the old city as well. So not intense hours like 9, 10 a day, but it was, probably 6.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, every day. And Paul had made a big... big cardboard box for Tala. It was huge. It was like a playpen.
I'd call it more like a little prison to keep her.
No, she had all kinds of little
massive
toys.
Big playpen for her, which was about 10 foot long by about 7 foot wide and about 3 foot high, so she couldn't get out.
Yeah.
And
she liked it.
I put wooden stretcher bars around it to support it so she could pull herself up on it and stand. And I painted all the outside of it with all these wild colours. Yeah. And so there she was in there. Yeah. She had a great time in there.
Every time I passed, I'd throw something new in.
To keep her busy.
Oh, look at this now. Yeah.
A playpen, a custom cardboard playpen.
She finally got over the side of it once, didn't she? And she fell
because she was only up to 10 months there. But she was a climber.
This
she was a climber then.
I was going to say.
She climbed her way out of it.
It's your fault that she's a rock climber. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we do head back to Vancouver at some point from Jerusalem.
We eventually got to Tel Aviv.
Right. Okay. No.
And so of course we head then to Barcelona, then the Basque Country, just to introduce Stella, to everybody, and then back to England. And she was 11 months then. Yeah. And she'd been through probably about 10 countries. She was an international traveler before she was 1. But we head back then to Canada just before she's 1 year. She is 11 months actually.
Okay.
I remember when we got back from Haifa, we got into Greece.
Back into...
And all those yellow fields.
That's right. Yeah.
We went through that way. And I always remember that restaurant in the middle of nowhere. And again, I don't know, a white baby or something.
Oh, she took the baby. Yeah. She took
her
away.
They took her into the kitchen.
We never saw her for about half an hour. I don't know where they'd taken her.
Yeah, but they just love it.
Well, in those days, you didn't worry about people stealing babies. Especially when the owner of the restaurant.
Yeah, it was the owner of the restaurant. So... Yeah, they
used to take her away. But you know what they used to do as well?
Oh, so nice.
When we would go to a nice restaurant, to make sure that we'd be left without being bothered by it, they'd take the baby away then and leave us to eat our meal, comfortably. They'd entertain Tala in the kitchen or somewhere.
Well, they're very family-oriented.
Yeah, they're very family-oriented.
And they love babies.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's what you said, what the Beatles said. Right.
Oh, right.
A ticket to ride, not art and babies.
You got to have a ticket to ride. That was the Beatles song, right? And it's true, actually. If you've got a ticket to ride, which with us it was the art and a baby.
Yeah, then the babies.
When we got from Haifa to Italy, we got off the boat with the car, and the police were everywhere, searching every car with dogs, looking for drugs and everything. Yeah. And as soon as they saw the baby in the back, that was it. They just... No problem, carry on.
Wave you through.
They didn't even look in. We could have had her diaper full of drugs.
Yeah, we don't look like drug people. I guess anybody can be a drug person.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's true.
And so, to cover the last bit here is to talk about the Jerusalem show. I think is what we must cover, which is
when we got back.
So when you got back to Vancouver, another show, and in the usual place.
We framed everything.
Yeah,
we framed everything up. We got in touch with the Jewish Association.
Well, my father, because we get back, and it had to be. We actually did another bass show en route back to England with Tala. Right, we did two Canadian, Baden and Lar. And I just saw the date the other day, so I said, "Oh my God, we must have fitted that in as well."
And we fitted it.
So Tala would be at a show as well. We'd take turns and. She would be with us always, or either one of us, right? And getting back then, I noticed that I guess we didn't get back to Canada maybe till the second week of June, giving us about 6 weeks before the Jerusalem show, because the date on the Jerusalem was July the 21st. But, of course, I'm always in contact with my father, and my father already starts things moving, right? And he was in touch with the synagogue and the rabbi, and at that one end, just because it may be of interest, to their community, because these paintings were coming directly from Jerusalem, which is pretty neat. And you also bought a big press. Yeah, we bought
a miniature lithograph press.
Yeah,
a wooden one. We bought it in Jerusalem, and we've had it shipped to Canada because it was so heavy.
Why did you want this lithograph press?
To practice with woodcuts.
It's really great.
Woodcuts and etchings and things like that. And so it was fascinating. I did quite a few little ones. It only works for small pieces because it was a small press.
Oh, right.
But it had the two rollers and
it was a little bit like the fishnet in Acapulco. So he tried it, and I love what he did. They were small.
I thought they were going to be useful. Yeah.
Anyways,
we ended up selling it later.
Sold that.
Yeah, okay.
But with the Bayshore show as well, in those days, of course, you have hand sign. You got everything printed up for the invitations. Then it has to be addressed and everything. I had people that did work for us as well and helped, and getting everything into that show. They only gave us like 4 hours. It all depended. Ooh. I think the people had up to 1 or 2 o'clock, or maybe 1 o'clock. They tried to get us in always by 1, giving us only 4 hours to set everything up, right? Yeah, that was a wonderful show, of course.
The shows always work.
It was a great show, yeah.
Well, we know what it is when you're in the international suite at the Bayshore. People, when they get invitations to go there, they dress to the nines. They come with their evening suit. They come really well dressed.
Yeah,
because they know it's an expensive looking suite, and it's a prestigious hotel, and so they want to. They don't come in their scruffs. And then usually if they come in the mind to look at what I've got and maybe buy something. So
yeah.
And then, anything left, of course, went to the Engineers Club.
And then we go straight to the Engineers Club, where we knew Horst Anders, who was actually a chap we'd met privately, and he was the manager of the Engineers Club.
He was a patron.
So they'd go straight from whatever was left from one show, we'd put straight into another show.
I think we'd met him by then.
And they'd be a month in that other show.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Ygartua Art Chronicles. What a treat hearing about their travels all around Israel and Europe. Always such great stories. Don't forget to share our podcast with others and check out the Ygartua Art Chronicles website. This episode was recorded and edited by me, Ed Hoskin, and was produced by Tala Ygartua and myself. The music is by Hoskin and Clark. See you next time.